Hello my crafty friends. Today I'm sharing a project that I like to say I made by accident. When I started this project, I simply wanted to make a slider box, which I did. And I'm not going to show you how to make the slider box because I have linked Karen's instruction video below, and she does a much better job of explaining that than I can. However, while I was in the file, I saw the die set for the mini gift bag. I keep all of my boxes and bags in the same files section. So there it was. And I said to myself, "Self, that looks like a camera." So I proceeded to make it into a camera for the front of my slider box. I'm going to show you how I did it. So let's get started. I apologize for the glare, but there is a lot of shiny stuff on this. I'm going to post a still picture of it at the end of the video so you can really get a close look. So let's get going. I started out by using this die, of course, and it has score lines, which I didn't really want on my camera. So all I did was cut it out of my blue cardstock. I simply flipped it over. The score lines are still there, but you can't really see them that much. And by the time we get everything else on here, they're not going to show at all. So the very first thing I did was I wanted to cover up, there's two holes here that are for the gift bag, and I really didn't want those. So I made another strip of paper, and this is about 1/2 inch wide, and I'm going to place it right over where those holes are. Now I lined it up with the top of this notch right here. The corners are clipped, and at the very top I lined this strip up on each side, and then I'm gonna put it down just like this. And I get it nice and straight by lining it up with those edges. Smooth that down. And then for a little extra decoration, I wanted to put something on it that would be pretty. So I cut these two very thin strips of metallic paper, and I put them on either side. So I'm just going to do that now, and I'm going to be very careful with my glue here because I don't like to get it out to make a mess, because you know how it is with metallic paper. It shows every little glue drop that you get on it. So I'm being very careful with that, but I'm going to line it up right on the edge, one on the bottom and one on the top. I simply lined those edges along that edge of that first strip that I put on. So I'm going to turn it over, trim it off so it all looks nice and neat. Okay, so far so good. Now with that all out of the way, the next thing I want to do is trim these parts off. I don't want them both the same size. In fact, I want both of them smaller, but one smaller than the other. And you could do this by hand if you wanted to, and you are confident in how straight you can cut. I'm not a straight cutter, so I'm going to use my paper trimmer for this. I'm just going to lay it in this way, line it up this way. For the first one, I want it rather short, so I'm just going to trim it off right there. And then I'm going to bring my blade up. Whoops! Sorry about that. The blade fell out, so I had to stop and do a minor adjustment. So for this one, I'm going to bring my blade up to the top of my cutter, and then I'm going to pull down, and I'm just going to cut that section off, leaving everything else the way it was. So next thing that I want to do, put my cutter away. I want to put the little flash bulb on that, and for that I've cut a little square. It's about 1/2 inch square, so I'm going to just put it right up here. Very little glue because I don't want it oozing out. I'm going to glue that on just like that. Going to give it an adjustment while the glue is still wet. Just like that. And a little over a little bit more. Okay, that's good. All right, press that down. Now for my little flash, what I decided to do is use a crown, because it has the little flash, or it has the little spikes coming up here. And as you can see, I've put a glue dot on it. For these metallic things, I like to use as many dry adhesives as I can, because I don't like it to get too messy. So I'm just going to put that on the back with the little prongs, or whatever you want to call them, the little flashes, sticking up just like that. So that part's ready to go. So for this part across here, I used some more shiny stuff, of course. And what I did is just cut a piece right here from the die, but then I cut it off shorter here so I could adjust it, giving me some extra space. So let's put that one on. A little glue here. Okay. I'll line that right up along the top, just like that. That looks good. Okay, we're good to go. Now, I wanted this one to look like a little dial. So what I did was took some silver paper and I crimped it. I ran it through my crimper. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but I just thought it was kind of cute. So I'm just going to cut it down to fit. Right like that. Okay. I'm just going to cut it across here. Let's see what we got. I think it should be just about right. Yep, I'm going to glue it right on there. It'll look just like a little dial. Little trim. I want it a little straighter. So I'm just going to trim it off right there. Add a little glue. Put the dial on. Whoops, come on. There we go. All right, now that I have that in place, I decided that it needed a few little buttons. So I cut 3 circles out of the same silver paper as the dial. And I'm going to put it right below the dial, like right here. I'm going to put the big one on first. Then I'm just going to stack them up. Get it lined up, press it down. Okay, one more time. Okay, I'll put that up closer to the camera so you can see how it looks. They're stacked up. It looks sort of like a telescoping button on there. Okay, so we're ready for our final step. Now, I knew that I wanted a lens on there, so what I did was I went to the internet, trusty old internet, and I found some free clip art. I selected what I wanted by entering in the description box in the top, by the search box actually. I put free clip art, iris shutter camera lens. And I got several different things, but this is the one that I chose. So I made several, I copied and pasted into a Word document. Then I sized it the way I wanted it. So this outer edge is 2.5 inches. The inner side is 2 inches. This little smile is so cute. I cut that out of Fun Foam. And that was in the Collage pop-up die set. So you'll find it there if you have all of Karen's dies or you have that particular one. So the next thing I wanted to do is put the lens on it. And what I used, and I had them in my stash, there are several different kinds. The one I have is rounded. And it's actually to make shaker cards, but it works just perfectly for this. Now in this one, I didn't have any adhesive left on here, so I had to put some sticky dots, but I put those on there. And I'm going to place them right over the top of this and line it up as carefully as I can. I'm going to stick it down. Oops, I'm having trouble picking it up. Okay, so I got it stuck down on there. Now, the next thing, I didn't like this edge. So what I did is made more than one copy of the lens. And so I took a 2-inch die, circle die, and I cut out the middle. So what I'm going to do is put some glue dots and make this, put this right on here, just like that, so it looks just like a camera lens. So I'm going to mess with those little glue dots, and I'm going to go off screen for that. I'll be back in a second. Okay, I'm back. Thanks for indulging me. I didn't want to waste your time for you to watch me wrestling with those glue dots. I do have a lot of trouble with them, but they are handy, especially for shiny surfaces. Okay, I want that stuck down. So I have my lens. Now I have it covered just the way I want it. So I'm going to bring both pieces in. This piece, I cut 2 pieces of fun foam with double-sided tape on either side. They are 2 pieces glued together, 2-sided tape on each one. So I'm going to peel that off. These are slightly smaller than the lens because I didn't want to have them sticking out. So I took the lens. I'm going to put that down just like that. I'm going to pull that one off. I'm going to position my lens exactly where I want it. Which I want to make the smile going up that way a little bit. I want to make sure I get it centered. So I'm going to stand up and I'm going to put it down just like that. And there you have it. A mini gift bag made into a camera. How fun is that? I hope you'll give it a try because it is a lot of fun. I'm going to show you the finished one with the pop-up boxes inside. The only thing I did different on this was I made a separate hole here to put my string through. Instead of in the center, I wanted it more at the top, and that's the only change I made to that. But I do have the pop-up cubes inside of there. I haven't put my pictures on yet because I haven't decided exactly what I want to use it for. I think I'll probably give it as a gift, so that's going to determine what pictures I put in it. But are you ready for the fun reveal? Here we go. Anybody would love to get this as a gift or a birthday card or with photos on it. All I have to do now is add my photo right here on each side. I'm good to go. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed my misadventure or my mistake. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.